Have you ever wondered how the universe was formed, where humanity came from, and where humanity is going? These ancient questions leave us perplexed. However, knowledge from science and new telescopes has partially unveiled the mysteries of the universe, providing us with astonishing new scientific insights about the origins of the universe and life. Scientific discoveries, cosmology, biology, and philosophy have led many scientists to acknowledge that the universe and life on the planet are part of a greater design. Many scientists are now talking about a creator, for only such a being could create and design the immense perfection of this universe. Where do masterpieces come from? Everyone knows that Isaac Newton is one of the greatest scientists in history and the father of modern physics. To prove the existence of God, in the last years of his life, Newton wrote a theological work of over 1,000,000 words. He said, "What exists where there is no matter? The universe, why is everything in such perfect order? What is the effect of the planets? The eyes of animals are designed according to the principles of optics. Is it not that a creator God has made this universe?" Of course, science cannot immediately help us understand the origins of everything. But these things all lead us back to the presence of the Almighty God. The famous astronomer Halley, a close friend of Newton, is known for calculating the orbit of Halley's comet. Halley did not believe that everything in the universe was created by God. One day, Halley visited Newton and was amazed to see a model of the solar system crafted by Newton. At the center of this model was a golden sun, with the planets neatly arranged around it. By simply pulling a lever, the planets immediately moved harmoniously along their orbits, which was truly marvelous. Halley asked Newton, "Who created this model?" Newton replied, "This model was not designed or made by anyone. It is merely the result of random materials colliding with each other." Halley responded, "No matter how you put it, it must have been created by someone. Moreover, that person is a genius." At that moment, Newton patted Halley on the shoulder and said, "Although this model is very exquisite, it is nothing compared to the actual solar system. If even you believe that someone made it, then the solar system is intricately more complex than this model by hundreds of millions of times. Isn't it true that an omnipotent God created it with his great wisdom?" Halley suddenly had an epiphany. He finally believed that God exists. If that gigantic celestial body is also a masterpiece of God, then what about this tiny human body? The mystery of the human body remains a puzzle that is difficult to explain. The human body, from its structure to its functions and mechanisms, is incredibly intricate. It is nearly perfect, and no scientist can deny this. However, they still believe that this is a product of natural laws, not the creation of a great intellect of God. Similarly, the ideas of cosmic theories suggest that the emergence of the Earth and humanity is a product of probability theory. So, if someone believes that a monkey playing wildly on an instrument will eventually play a famous piece after many attempts, you would find this way of thinking naive and childish, right? Yet, when studying the origins of humanity and the universe, modern science considers this highly unlikely event as something that could realistically happen. When physicists calculate that for life to exist, gravity and other physical laws governing our universe must be adjusted with extreme precision. It is highly likely that our universe could not exist. For example, did you know that if the rate of expansion of the universe were just slightly weaker, gravity would pull all matter back into a massive collapse? The Big Crunch is a hypothesis about the universe collapsing back to a point after it stops expanding following the Big Bang. Stephen Hawking once said, "If the rate of expansion 1 second after the Big Bang had been less than 1 part in 100,000 million, the universe would have collapsed again before it could have reached its current size." Conversely, if the rate of expansion needed to be even slightly larger, all galaxies, stars, and planets might never have formed, and we would not be able to exist. For life to exist, the conditions in our solar system and on our planet also need to be very precise. For example, we all recognize that without an atmosphere containing oxygen, none of us could breathe. Without oxygen, water cannot exist. Without water, there would be no rain for our crops. Other elements such as calcium, hydrogen, nitrogen, sodium, carbon, and phosphorus are also essential for life. But that is not all that is necessary for life to exist. The size, temperature, relative distance, and chemical covering of our planet, sun, and moon also need to be very precise in every aspect. Perhaps, there must be many other biological, meteorological conditions that need to be very precise. Scientists believe that only God could arrange such conditions. But atheists and proponents of the theory of infinity cannot explain these striking coincidences. The 13-year-old prodigy William Mallees and scientific reasoning. The boy William Mallees, born in 2007, lives in Penn Township, Pennsylvania, USA. William graduated from high school in May 2016 at the age of 9. After that, he attended community college in Allegheny County, then enrolled at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh in the fall of 2017. From a young age, William has had a clear direction in life to prove the existence of God through science. It is hard to imagine a child who has been passionate about researching the origins of the universe, reading and understanding advanced physics books about the cosmos, and is determined to earn a PhD in astrophysics. Strangely, this boy has innocent scientific arguments that align with Gödel's theorem. I want to prove to everyone that God truly exists by pointing out that only an external force outside the universe could create the universe, William shared. You have conducted some survey research on some advanced theories. These studies are beginning to show that physicist Stephen Hawking was wrong about the origin of the universe. William has read some of Stephen Hawking's books, including The Grand Design, a book that is very difficult to understand even for educated adults in the scientific field. In this book, Hawking states, the universe can create itself from nothing. This means that the universe can spontaneously form and therefore, God is unnecessary. But William has arguments to refute Hawking's viewpoint. The boy says, I am proving that only God has the ability to create this universe. My data is accurate. My research has progressed by 70%. On the day I complete it, I want to share it with the whole world. When asked what his dream is, the child prodigy answered without hesitation, I want to become an astrophysicist so that I can prove to the scientific world that God truly exists. In a recent interview at Hellenic College Holy Cross, William was asked why he feels the need to prove this to scientists. He responded profoundly, yes, because there are atheist scientists who try to say that there is no God, while in reality, to believe there is no God requires more faith than to believe in the existence of God, because it is more reasonable to think that something created the universe than to let the universe create itself. William said, the universe creating itself requires more faith than saying that there is something outside the universe that could create the universe, because that would be more logical. It would be too early to assert anything about William's future, but his viewpoint aligns with Gödel's incompleteness theorem. William is entirely correct in rejecting Hawking's view that the universe can create itself from nothing. According to Gödel's theorem, Hawking's viewpoint is flawed. Hawking's self-creating universe system is indeed a self-referential system. According to Gödel's theorem, every self-referential system leads to contradictions. Hawking himself, in his paper on The End of Physics, stated that physical theories about the universe are all self-referential systems and therefore will be inconsistent and incomplete. In other words, there will never be a theory that can fully and accurately describe the universe. Thus, the hypothesis the universe creates itself is a hypothesis about a self-referential universe system. Therefore, that hypothesis will lead to contradictions. William is even more right in asserting that only an external force to the universe could create the universe. This idea also completely aligns with Gödel's theorem. This theorem states that a system cannot fully and consistently judge itself. To judge a system more fully and accurately, one must go outside of it. So, who could the creator be? Scientists have now convinced us that there is a creator who has left their fingerprints in this universe. What might such a creator with extraordinary intelligence look like? They could simply be a cosmic force like in the Star Wars movies. Or are they an individual like us? Since we are individuals, does that mean our creator also possesses individual traits and relationships? 2,000 years ago, a man set foot on our planet and claimed to have the answers to life. Although his presence on Earth was brief, His impact has changed the world to this day. That man's name is Jesus Christ. 500 years prior in the East, two other remarkable figures, Buddha and Laozi, also descended to teach humanity. Ancient records recount that these enlightened beings continually demonstrated creative powers beyond natural laws. They are wise, humble, and compassionate. But could they be the superintelligence behind the universe? Reflecting on the scriptures can reveal to us a thought that God is the one who places the stars in space, fine-tunes our universe, and creates us, not Jesus Christ. In Judaism, Jesus is seen as a messenger of God, a leader sent by God to save his people. The Quran of Islam also affirms that Jesus is an important prophet of God. He brings the gospel, can perform miracles, but does not possess the highest divine qualities. The Tao Te Ching and Buddhist scriptures also do not state that Laozi and Siddhartha Gautama created the world. They were contemporaries of Jesus and seem to have been sent down during that time for some mission, rather than to create the universe. So, who is the creator? To be honest, we have only heard of him, but have never seen him clearly. With the power to create life, control the dimensions of time and space, and transcend both life and death, how can humans in this world know him? Only through cultivation, elevating morality, and maintaining faith can we attain that great grace and blessing.